So last time we talked about each of the inversions of the dominant seventh chord, yeah? And they all pretty much kind of act like passing chords, don't they? Should we recap that real quick? Five, 6, 5 used in a relatively weak position in the phrase prolongs the tonic area. And we heard this Mozart example.
Example 1420.
Then the dominant in second inversion acts similar to a passing 5, 6, 4 with the three blind mice. 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3. And we heard the horn concerto.
Example 1422.
Perfect example for that. And then the dominant seventh and third inversion. Because of the downward resolution of the seventh, the dominant seventh and third inversion is almost always followed by a tonic chord in first inversion. The dominant seventh and third inversion is often preceded by a tonic chord in first inversion, or by some form of the 4 or 2 chord. But it may also be preceded by a passing 1, 6, 4 or a cadential 1, 6, 4 chord. Here we are in example 1423 in the key of G major. So it just moves off and moves back. B, preceded by the 2 chord that I mentioned. And C. Oops, I'm sorry, I played that wrong. A less conventional but certainly effective treatment of the upper voices is seen in example 14-24, in which the fifth of the dominant seventh and third inversion leaps to the fifth of the tonic chord in first inversion. This is the Beethoven Pathetique Sonata that Schroeder plays on Peanuts.
Example 1424.
But I think I told you last time, the classical composers do it all the time. All right. We started working on this. We did part A. We did part B with no breadcrumbs and found our way back. We did a little of part C, I believe. Remember that the I means incomplete and the C means complete. We talked about the various matchy-matchy sections in your workbook assignments, yes. I updated the assignment for workbook in class last time and cut out a few pages, and we'll probably do some more of that. All right. D. Review the section, the approach to the seventh. Then classify the approach to the seventh in each of the following examples on page 220. What are they talking about? All right. We'll listen to this Bach and try to figure out the approach to the seventh chord, dominant seventh.
Example 14:10.
What is it?
What's the question?
How do they approach the dominant seventh chord there?
The A to the B.
What about it?
Isn't that the? Well, it's a
so.
step up, right?
Is it a suspension? I think they have a typo in their textbook. I think they wrote chapter 13 and they meant to write chapter 14. Don't you see this is a suspension figure right here? Because it's held over. Listen again, you'll hear it. Listen for that E flat in the soprano.
Example 14:10.
A suspension if it doesn't come back down for the 5 chord?
Well, it comes back down on the 1 chord.
Yeah, but
What kind of a suspension is it? No one knows.
I was trying to figure out how you describe it. Like a 7/3?
I think so, yeah. Because we have a change of bass. Remember that? Change of bass?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 7/3 suspension. Are we all right with that? All right, they want us.
review change of bass. I don't remember.
Say again? You want to review change of bass?
Yeah.
Sure. Let me just find the page that it happens on. This is back in chapter 12, I believe. Yeah, this is on page 196. Oops. Oops. Here we go. When a suspension occurs in one of the upper voices, the bass will sometimes move on to another chord tone at the same time as the suspension resolves. This device is referred to as a suspension with a change of bass. In such cases, a 7/6 suspension, for example, might become a 7/3 suspension because of the movement of the bass. It is also possible to move the upper part of the dissonance as the bass resolves in a 2/3 suspension, creating a 2/6 suspension. So that's exactly what happened in 1410. So we have the E flat above our F, which is a 7th, which resolves down to the D, which is a 3rd above our new bass because we've had a change of bass, which is a B flat. Does that help? All right, moving on. Beethoven. String Quartet. Here's a 2-measure snippet.
Example 1411.
Wait, I blinked. I didn't hear it.
Example 1411.
What do you think about that? I feel like they set us up to look for something bigger than what we're really looking for. All we're looking for is the fact that there's a neighbor tone figure. That's all they want you to see. Isn't that fascinating? $14.20. We listened to this one yesterday, didn't we? Come on.
Example 1420. Example 1420.
All right, they want you to notice this passing tone and this passing tone. I guess they're trying to solidify in unity chapter 12s, 13s, and 14s all together, showing that these things often happen together. That's all I can figure. All right. Back to the horn concerto. What do they want us to recognize?
Example 1422.
So this, they say, is an ascending passing tone figure. But I'm confused because they haven't marked any of the passing tones. And they have circles around certain chords that I don't understand. They also say, the book says in the back, that this figure usually descends, but this is the one exception, the 1-5-4-3-1-6 chord progression being the only common exception. Does anyone understand what they're talking about?
Just having a hard time figuring out why they put the pink stuff only in the horn and violas instead of violins. And
Well, this is an offset of this note. It's the same note.
so they're just trying to
Is
tell
it?
you.
Let's listen again.
Example 1422.
They're just trying to tell you how to read it, like that way.
So this is a C, right? Yeah, band
Yes.
players. C, C, D flat, D flat, E flat, E flat, F, D flat, D flat. So, I don't know, a little mimicking back and forth. But they're also talking about this ascending passing tone figure. So it should sound like this. But let's look here. They're saying that both this chord and this chord are prolonging the tonic area in what is really an embellishment of a 1-2-6-5 chord progression. So that's why they've circled. So they're saying that's the textural reduction. We're going from a tonic to a 2-6 to a 5 chord. There's your mashed up, messed up reduction for you. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I don't think it's that important. Are we all right with that? And last, we're supposed to go on to look at this example. The Pathetique. How's it approached?
Example 1424.
And it's not so much how's it approached. Well, I guess they want us to classify the approach. It's kind of an approach. To me, it's more of how does it leave. Well, what they want you to recognize is what? What figure do we have here? They're specifically wanting you to look at the melodic line. Which I think is a stretch because they're all chord tones, but they're calling this an Appoggiatura figure. We're approaching by step and we're leaving by leap, but they're all chord tones.
Wouldn't that be an escape tone?
Ooh. Would it?
Because, and then in the book on the other one, you'd said it was a neighbor tone, but I thought that would have been an Appoggiatura.
It was a neighbor group, I believe.
Hmm.
Going back to chapter 12, an Appoggiatura is approached by leap and left by step. My apologies. So they're calling it that and not that. That's the tricky part about the Appoggiatura versus the one versus the other. But to me, it's a moot point because they're all chord tones. Yay! So that's what they want you to see. An escape tone, however, is exactly what you said. So you could, as theorists often do, look, you're becoming a theorist, make an argument that it's an escape tone figure and not an Appoggiatura figure. And both of you could make your arguments till you're blue in the face because both of them are right.
I don't know. I think my argument's better because it says how is it approached, not how is it left. So.
Yep. Boxers, briefs, personal preference. All right. That takes care of letter D. Let's check the matchy part in the textbook or workbook and see if we can axe it right out. Oh, it's different. No, I want you to do D. D is not going to be fun, but it's going to be good for you.
Builds character.
Yeah. All right. E. Notate, introduce, and resolve the specified chords. Each chord seventh is to be approached as a suspension, a neighbor, a passing tone, or an Appoggiatura as indicated. Include key signature, lead sheet symbols, and Roman numerals. This E is like their D. This E is like our workbook D. All right, we're in A major. What is our key signature?
3 sharps.
All right. We need a suspension. We need a 5-6-5. And then we can go wherever we want, I suppose. So let's spell our 5-6-5 in the key of A major. Our 5 chord is going to be E, G sharp.
Do they
B
want
and-
us using 4 notes or 3?
I assume
Okay.
4. They haven't said anything about 3. Now, because we're in 6/5, that's going to be our bottom note. True story. So, how shall we voice it?
G sharp in the bass.
All right, shall we put it there?
Mm,
What else do we need?
need a D and an E at least.
Okay, where do you want them?
D in the tenor.
Okay.
E in the alto. B in the soprano.
All right. What precedes a dominant chord?
1.
Say again.
1.
Good. What else?
Predominant.
Predominant. What is that predominant?
2.
2 chord.
The 4 is the subdominant, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Look how nicely that was. Oh, let's go to 1, shall we?
Definitely.
Altos can stay on their E.
Good altos.
Sopranos, Re, Do. Our leading tone needs to go T, Do. And the tenors, they get to go to Mi. Now, we're supposed to have some kind of a suspension. Did we do that naturally? I'm confused. It says, notate, introduce and resolve the specified chords. Each chord's 7th is to be approached as a suspension, a neighbor, a passing tone, or an appoggiatura as indicated. Include key signatures, lead sheet symbols, and Roman numerals. Well, we did it exactly like the book did.
We can add a passing tone from the 2 to the 5, I guess.
It specifically asks us for a suspension.
Oh,
If we tie this, is it a suspension? I did what they asked me to do. I don't understand.
we could go from the 5 to the 1 suspension.
I think this is a continuation of part D, where they want us to do these things, but they don't want us to do them for realsies because they're chord tones. You know what I'm saying?
No, I didn't get it.
Well, a non-chord tone's a non-chord tone, and they all have chord tones here.
Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't understand what they were doing. But you could add a suspension in And the 5 going to 1.
But here's my question. My question is the soprano already a suspension?
It doesn't have an on-chord tone, so how can it?
Okay, so then my question is it a suspension-like figure that they want us to do? Like all the examples in letter D.
Yeah.
I still want you to do this part in the book, but I don't want you to lose too much sleep about just writing the chords, you know what I mean? And for our jazz friends, this is a B minor chord. What's the next lead sheet? They didn't even do their stupid lead sheet chord right. Come on, book. Killing me.
It would be E slash G sharp. How'd they write it?
They wrote E7. Wrongo. We need the 7, don't we, Pete?
Yeah, you do need the 7. Yeah.
And then the last chord.
A.
Good.
G.
Man, this company needs me as an editor. At least a contributing faculty editor. Come on. McGraw-Hill, hit me up. I'm going to get a cease and desist letter. I know it. It's come to our attention that you're making us look bad on YouTube without our permission. All right. So, just to solidify what our friendly book here is doing, we're going to fast forward to part 4 here. Question 4. We're going to go from E minor. We are in E minor, so that's 1 sharp, true. We're going to come up with a 5/7. We're going to come up with a chord to approach the 5/7 and a chord to leave the 5/7. But what they want is they want an Appoggiatura-like figure somewhere in there. Which we know is approached by sleep or left by step. True? So, just to make this easier, here's what your book did for the 5/7. Now, having known that, how can we make an Appoggiatura-like figure? Where does the Appoggiatura usually take place? Soprano, alto, tenor, or bass?
Soprano?
Yeah. So we need a leap here, and we need a step here. Well, let's just go to 1. Because
Go from 4, maybe?
Sorry? From the 4, yeah.
Yeah, like C sharp or A, B. That's pretty classic.
You got it. So C sharp, A, E, and they share that with the alto tenor, right? So we have a leap here, and then we're going to have our step here. Keep the tenors. Sorry. Probably should have been a C natural. And for our good jazz friends out there, they botched your lead sheet symbols once again. This should be A minor / C. And this should be B7. Got that one right.
Well, you butchered the Roman numeral, so it's only fitting.
What are you talking about?
You can put a...
You want your 6 here?
Yeah.
All right. So that's what they're after. So don't like totally stress. What? I got to add all these non-chord tones? No, they want those type of figures happening in the soprano part. Cool?
I got a quick question.
Go ahead.
For these 7 chords, is it like the passing 6/5 chords where they have specific chords they like to see in front of it, like the 2 chord in front of the 5/6 and the, or not? Can you just use whatever? You can put whatever.
Are you talking about the ones we reviewed this morning at the beginning of class?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were pretty clear. Can I clear my screen? They were pretty clear about what usually precedes what. Let me turn off
But
my
they're
pencil.
usually not necessarily do with this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, typically found. I think it's not to say you couldn't do something else. But yeah, typical. All right. F. Show with lead sheet symbols, like we know what those are. And Roman numerals, the chords that this figured bass calls for. Then complete the realization in 4 voices. All right, what key are we in?
B major.
E flat.
Flat major.
E flat major. Got percussion class going on next door. Working on their 16th notes. All right. So is everybody cool with me calling this a 1 chord? Calling this a 1 chord. Calling this a 5/7. Oh, let's do the freebies, shall we? 1 chord. 1/6. I like ones where I don't have to think. Shoot, we're all out of those. This is going to be a 2 chord, yes, it's predominant, and this is the first inversion, so our third underneath that would be a C, which in the key of B flat is a 2. Everybody see how I got that?
The one right next to it could be 1/6.
Gotta be, right?
Yeah.
This has to be a 5, yes? This is like Sudoku. I love Sudoku. 1. What's this one gonna be?
Looks like I think it's a 4.
You got it. Who knew numbers could be so much fun? All right, and this one.
I think it's a 5.
Yes, I think you're right. All right, looking at the book, the answer, the only thing that they did different was they put this in parentheses because this isn't a true chord. It doesn't have a soul. It's an imposter. It's the cadential 6/4. It can't stand on its own. All right, so then lead sheet symbols. B flat. B flat. B flat slash. D. They didn't even give us a slash chords. B flat. E flat 7. B flat slash D. Two chord would be C, but so it's going to be C minor slash E flat, true story. Five is an F chord.
F7.
I don't even think the book knows who Guns N' Roses is. Slasher, anybody? Thank you. Four chord. What's my four chord root?
E flat.
Good. And this
I
five
think
chord.
you've been doing you did the 5/7 at the end with an E flat instead of an F.
Yep, you're right. There's three types of people in this world. I guess I gotta erase the flat too. Dang it. Okay, so this is gonna be F7 slash A. Are we all right with that? And then we got to put in notes. Do we want to do that?
How much is left of the chapter?
Nothing.
Yeah.
We have one more question after this. Let's do it. Even though we don't want to, we all know we don't want to do it. Hurry, write that all in. Did you transcribe that?
Ethan, we're counting on you.
Ethan, you're our only hope.
Help us with the movie.
I need to go watch it a couple more times. I don't know why I didn't watch the video.
Where are we?
F.
Okay. Let's rock. What are we doing? We need an F and a C and an E flat. We have an F. We could keep it. We could come up here to the E flat and give us a nice focal point. F, A. We need a C. Should we go up to the C in the tenor? Where would you like to go next? Welcome back. While you were gone, you missed nothing. You want to go right back where we were? Path of least resistance.
Good outdoes.
Yeah. Next. 1-6.
You should change the melody at least. Go do the B flat melody.
Okay. Four chord, first inversion. Keep those tenors right where they're at. Kick it out to an octave. Keep those tenors right where they're at. Can't trust them with anything.
You can make a focal point here. Go up to the high F.
We're going to have to. Or switch something out, so that's all right. Keep going. Where are we sticking the altos? On the D?
It's technically incorrect, right?
Why?
Spacing.
Yeah. Can we rewind? This is what the book did. Instead of going to the B flat there, they went to the F here. That way, they had their focal point.
That makes parallel octaves though. Unless they probably did that differently too.
They did. They have parallel octaves.
They do.
They do.
Oh my gosh.
What kind of clowns are teaching us?
That's like the easiest error to spot too.
Error is no focal point. So I mean,
Yeah, maybe they went with the what's worse.
They could have gone to like they could have done something different.
How are we going to clean up this mess?
they should sponsor you, Dr. B.
I'm just a substitute. I don't know what I'm doing. It doesn't sound too bad.
That's why they kept it.
Huh?
That's why they kept it. It's not that bad.
Well, the other option is voice crossing.
Okay, we'll leap the tenors up to the E flat and then altos on like the B or something.
That's what I'm saying. That's your other option, and you're going to have voice crossing. Right?
No, I don't think so.
Well, if you put your tenors... Where did I go? Back pencil. If we put the tenors on the E flat, you put your altos on the B flat, you've crossed voices.
Oh, right. But what about the B flat and octave higher?
Well, we don't want to do that because we'll never hear an end of the moaning. Oh, that's so high for us altos.
Okay, and then G then.
I'm just being a jerk. B flat.
Actually, that's also parallel octaves.
This theory stuff's fun. Where's our parallel octave? Show me.
No, I mean, like if the altos moves to the G, but with the
Oh,
B flat, it's okay though.
okay. And we didn't cross voices. We'll just hear about it for weeks from the altos. It's so high. All right. On we go.
Alto lives matter, guys.
Did you just say alto asthmatic?
I said alto lives matter.
Oh. I thought you were saying alto asthmatic. We can't hit that B flat. All right.
Tenors have to go up to the F.
Woo!
Now this is when you'd start getting complaints from
Letting their lights so shine. Yes, they did.
No, they're loving it. What are you talking about? G is when they start complaining.
I don't know. I've got some tenors in my church choir that would be not happy.
Next. Can I just also, from a finale point of view, point out another McGraw-Hill error? Why do we have rests here? We should have no rests here if we're putting in notes. Add that to the errors found by Doc B Theory. Boom. Sorry, in
You
finale
should
mode.
just like come up with a compilation of errors and just send it to them.
Please notice this highlight reel from Doc B Theory YouTube channel.
Just go back and
Please put my name in the front of your book as a contributor. All right. Where are we? I don't even know anymore.
go to the D.
Oh, we have rest. We can't do anything. We're done.
D.
Yeah, that's true.
You want to... Ooh, what are you going to do with the altos?
Just stay on the
Stay.
B flat. Yes.
Okay.
Inertia. Just keep them there.
Next.
They had to go through all the effort to get up there. Might as well just stay there.
Oh, I had a soprano tell me that at Christmas time. She's like, if I got to put in all the effort to get up there, I'm going to stay on that note for a little while. So you're just going to have to follow me. You got it. Soprano fashion. Okay. Where are we going?
Tenors could stay on the F, technically, I guess.
They could.
Yeah, keep them there. Inertia again.
Do we want to do that?
And then everyone else is going down.
C and A? Okay.
Keep the tenors on the F again.
Do you want to?
We could, and then we could double
They're
the
the real stars of this.
They'll need the combined might of the sopranos and altos to out sing them at this point.
You want to do that?
Right.
Okay.
Just to get the note heard.
You go from the bottom, G, A, B flat in the melody. I don't know.
You want the tenors to go up to a G?
No, in the sopranos.
Wait, where are we? I'm looking for a C, E flat, and G, yeah?
I was thinking they can just go down to the G, and they can go up on the next chord.
At both of these?
No, just sopranos.
Oh, sopranos are taking the G?
I guess I don't want to boss you around or
The
anything.
tenors are going down to C.
What are you going to do with the altos? That's what I always worry about.
You worry about that?
Mm-hmm. I lose sleep over it. Or are you going to put that? What are you going to do with the altos?
Just do the E flat.
That was a really long tail.
They're able to go back down now, so give them a little.
Yeah, altos are pretty good at jumping. We're happy about that.
They actually are.
Hmm?
You don't want that. Whoa. What do you want to do here?
Stay on the C in the tenors.
Okay. What are you
Then
going to do with the
A.
sopranos? A?
Yeah.
Then there you go.
Does it matter that the altos didn't move in the opposite direction after their jump?
Probably. This is so not what the book did.
Ours is way better. Play it. I want to hear a concoction.
I mean, it's not bad. Oh, we got parallel. No, I'm sorry. I misread it. Not bad. All right, here's what the book did. I like ours better.
Our melody is better.
All right, that was fun. Can I clear my screen? It pains me to do so, but on we go. Review. Identify the following keys. If the chord occurs diatonically in both major and minor, name both keys. Do you see what they're saying there with that last sentence? They're saying that a dominant seventh chord or dominant triad can belong to both the major or the minor. So if that is the case, they want you to signify that. The dominant chord in minor and the dominant chord in major is the same chord. If we're in harmonic minor, it's going to be a major 5 chord, and if we're in minor, it's going to be a major 5 chord. So they want you to recognize that dominant chord could belong to either the major or the minor. You with me?
Number 11, why is there an N there?
Because they want a major 7th. Yep. All right. We got 10 minutes. Let's bust through this. All right. Go ahead.
Let's do 11.
Let's do 11. 11 it is. Ooh. All right. So what is our root of that chord? Do you know that when you are in closed position, the root is always the upper of the second? Is this true? I think it's true.
I remember from when we were going over it the first time. Yeah.
Say again?
Yes.
Okay, so B is our root. True?
It's in the bass clef.
Ah, you want to be in bass clef. All right,
Yep.
fine. D will be our root then. So our key is D. True?
Yes.
Well, this is a piece of cake, isn't it? Back to number 1. This is our root. True story? All right. This would be our root.
So B, or actually in the key, so it'd be A then.
You got it. Is everybody with me? B is my root. B is the 2. If B is 2, A is 1. I'm not sure if you're frozen or if you're getting it or you're not getting it. All right, let's have everybody answer number 3 in the chat. So this would be my root, true? And that note would be my 4. So if A flat is my 4, 3, 2, 1, E flat would be my 1. This is true.
Put the lid on your pen, please, before you draw over yourself and the wall. Now go sit down. No one's forcing you to do it. Go back to school. I'm not your teacher.
Talk to me. I'm seeing confused looks and heads shaking.
There's 2 flats.
There are 2 flats. This is true.
And this is in treble clef.
This is true as well.
Good alto range.
2 flats, that would be
Don't look at key signature. Don't look at accidentals as key signatures. This is an A flat major chord, which would be A flat, C, E flat. You with me? They're telling us that this A flat is the 4. So this is really an exercise of find the root of your chord. So A flat is the root of the chord, which is a 4 chord. So if A flat is the root and that's the 4, then E flat has to be my 1. With me?
This feels like a twisted version of algebra.
It is. Music's just math. I'm not going to use math. I'm going to be a music major. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Wait till you get to theory 4. Theory 4 is all numbers.
I could have
So-
happily gone without knowing that knowledge.
Say again?
I could have happily gone without knowing
Oh,
that
no, no,
knowledge.
no, no, no. C is 0 and B is 11. Figure that one out. C sharp is 1, D is 2, E flat is 3, E is 4, F is 5. Numbers. And then you're going to get a clock. And you're going to say, all right, let's see how many C's there are in the piece. And let's see, do we have an E? Oh, there's a C. Oh, there's a B. Funny, that's an F sharp over there. Okay, we're going to take that same thing and we're going to go, and we're going to get this number and this number and this number. And we're going to call it music, even though it sounds horrible. Good times.
Extensions.
Introduction to post-tonal music.
Mm-hmm. I kind of wish I taught that class, to be honest, because I had a really good teacher for it. Anyway, back to the farm here. Does everybody understand that we are in the key of E flat here? All right, let's talk. Let's do number 13 real quick, because 13 is going to help us. 13 is nice and compact because it's in root position. True story. Olaf has all of his extremities there. He is not missing anything. So the bottom note there is Olaf's butt, and that's also the key of our 3. So we are in bass clef here. And so this is a D, and D is our 3. So if D is 3, C is going to be 2, B is going to be 1.
B flat, right?
It would be B flat. Do you all see how we got there? Let's go back and do 2 because 2 is nice and easy as well. Or is it? All right, so 2 is nice stacked Olaf, right? So the bottom note is our 1. And we are in which key? We're in the bass clef, remember? So
You're saying 12, right?
Sorry, yes. So we're in C sharp minor, yes? Does everybody see how I got that? So now the thing to do is figure out, all right, how do we figure out what my root is when we are in an inversion? So whenever you have a second, the top note of that is usually your root. Is that true? So here our root is going to be B flat, and B flat is our second. So that means my 1 is going to be A flat. We're running low on time, so we can come back and do this again Monday. This is all that we have left for the chapter. So that'll give us 2.5 weeks for the next chapter, which I think is plenty of time. So we can devote a little bit more time to this on Monday. I want you to work on the workbook. I'm not going to make it due this weekend, but next weekend. So you'll have a whole nother week to work on the workbook. Are we okay with that? So I will see you all tomorrow in ear training.
Thanks, Doc.
You bet.